Welcome back to Living Local. The second annual Oberholtzer Awards, hosted by the Nahant Marsh, works to recognize past, present, and future conservation leaders who have made significant contributions towards understanding and protecting the natural world. Joining us in studio today, we have Brian Ritter. He's the Executive Director of the Nahant Marsh. Great to have you back in studio.
Great to be here.
So, what sparked the idea for this awards event?
Well, you know, my staff and other folks and I have talked for years, and we started making a list of all the people who did wonderful things for conservation, who are either from the Quad Cities or have worked their career here, and the list just kept growing and growing. And we said, we gotta do something to recognize these people.
That's fantastic. So who is the event named after? It's a long name, Oberholtzer.
Yeah, Oberholtzer is kind of the most famous conservationist from the Quad Cities that nobody knows about. He grew up here in Davenport. He spent most of his life up in northern Minnesota, southern Canada, and ultimately got this incredible place called the Boundary Waters, this 2 million acre wilderness area protected. And he's actually buried here, and he was kind of lost to history, so we wanted to revive him and you know, his legacy.
That's awesome that you are honoring his legacy with this awards event. So what is the purpose of this event?
Well, really the purpose is to, number one, bring attention to the hard work that a lot of people have done, and it's usually stuff behind the scenes. We don't realize that these really cool parks and natural areas, they don't just happen. It takes people and inspired people to get them protected. So number one, it's to protect them, but bring awareness to their causes and the work that they've done. And it's also a fundraiser for Nahant, and we use those funds to really apply them to our work there at the Marsh and protecting Nahant and that part of the Quad Cities.
Perfect. Now, who is your keynote speaker this year, Brian?
We're super excited. Our keynote is an author, a Vietnam veteran, and a wilderness advocate named Doug Peacock. And Doug spent his career working to protect wild places in the West, but also was really kind of the first person to document grizzly bears and advocate for grizzly bears.
Wow. So a wildlife conservationist whose last name is Peacock. I love that.
Yeah.
Very fitting. So why did you guys choose him to be the keynote speaker this year?
Well, it just sort of fits with our theme, and he is a living legend. I mean, he's really well known in the West, not so much in the Midwest, but we wanted to bring his message here. But also the fact that it's a really good tie-in with Oberholtzer himself, who was an advocate for wilderness. And his story of how nature can heal you is fantastic, because he was a guy who spent 2 tours of combat duty in Vietnam, was really traumatized from the experience, but found solace and found healing in nature, and ultimately with one of the largest predators in North America. It's hard to believe. But
wow, what an incredible story. And research does show that nature has a way of being therapeutic for us. And we cannot thank the people out there who are making sure that our natural resources are staying intact. That's something that we all enjoy.
Right.
And so it's so wonderful that you guys are recognizing those people. So who is being honored at this year's awards event?
So we actually have 4 winners. We have a past person named Sylvan Runkle, who grew up here in Moline, ultimately spent his entire career working in the state of Iowa at different capacities, but really worked to document what was out there, which was important because there was a time when we were losing a lot of species, but worked to protect a lot of really incredible places throughout the state and inspired others. And then our present award winner is a guy named Bob Bryant, who also has spent his career working to protect wild places in both Clinton and Scott counties. He spent half his career in Clinton County with the Clinton County Conservation Board and in Scott County, and educated just thousands and thousands of people. I was one of his mentors when I was coming up as a young naturalist. And then 2 future award winners, 2 St. Ambrose students, Anna Schmidt and I got a cheat here.
Okay. Christina, you got a lot of names.
Christina Shellman, and they started a club on campus to really try to get other students inspired and up to speed on what's going on in the environment locally and on campus.
Wow. Well, 4 very deserving awards recipients there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who are all making a difference in our community. Brian, you know, the general theme here is conservation and why it's so important. What is so valuable about it?
Well, it's for a variety of reasons. We share this planet with a lot of other species, and we kind of have a duty to work to protect those things, but it's for our own well-being, for our own you know, ability to thrive and survive. We need nature just as much as nature needs us. And so really recognizing those people, and it's not just the whole spiritual aspect of nature, it's really tangible things. Like, we need nature because it makes our community a better place to live. It helps us, it helps our economy to attract talented young and old people to stay and play here, and it benefits us all.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, when and where is the event, and how can people get tickets?
Yeah, so the event is February 29th at East Moline's new event center called The Bend, and it's from 9 to noon. It's a great event, and you can find our tickets at nahantmarsh.org.
Fantastic. Brian, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
All right, if you guys would like some more information, you visit nahantmarsh.org. We'll also have those details posted on ourquadcities.com.